come on in. We started this bracelet tutorial and the computer came up and said something needed to restart that had been updated. And I thought, well, I'll ignore that till after I do this. Well, apparently not. And it just shut me down. So I'm back and I hope that everyone makes it back. Um, since I had to delete the other video, I'll just start from scratch. Okay, thank you for coming back, Michelle. I do these junk bracelets with bits and pieces of jewelry, usually repurposed jewelry. Hi, Deborah. And the one that everyone wanted to know how to do was this one that was done with the 99-cent cord, hemp cord from Dollar General. These were done in such a way that they are so easy, you don't have to fool with any sort of worrying about your ends or anything. I see, yes, I do. I do, Michelle. And there's how you end this to where you just tie some knots. Um, I have three different ones here that I have made. This one is done on chain. I've done a lot of these, and this one's my favorite that incorporates a lot of the white unbleached looking stone and bone and stuff. I like that one. Those are put on with jump rings. Excuse me for being repetitive, but I had to um, take that other video down to keep from people being confused. So I need to cover everything I need to cover. Uh, this is the one I did. And then after I finished it, I came back and put little charms on with junk rings and they dangle. And then this one, I put the charms on as I went. And it's a different kind of look. And I actually have worn these two together sometimes. Um, I kind of like the dangling charms a little better than the more stationary ones, but this was a different look to this bracelet. All the little charms were the same. Okay, how I start with this? Let me get my reading glasses on. Um, you've got your toggle clasp, and I'm using one for this one that has a little heart for that. Okay, and then here is the end that goes in the heart like that. Okay, you know how it goes. All right, what we do when you use a toggle clasp, and most of you probably know this, but if you don't, use leave a little bit of, um, for lack of the better word, I'll say tail, uh, a little thin area here so that you have room to turn that. I think of that trucking song, turn that truck around um, to get into the toggle. So when you first start your bracelet, we're going to start on the end like this. And then we'll have small beads here so that you can actually put the thing on, okay? Now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring the camera down and show you how, uh, hold on, stupid camera. I'm kind of out of practice. All right, you've got a hole, and this is the piece we are going to actually start with. I have a long piece of cord. I've got a big mess too. Um, of this hemp cord from Dollar General. It is softer than, don't try to use jute. I mean, you can, but um, you take it, double it, and put it, hold on. Of course, I'm going to have problems. There we go. You run it through the hole. This is just simple knots 101. And then run it through like that. Pull the two ends through the loop and tighten that up. Now, what I like to do at this point is make another knot just to kind of keep things secure. Ken was going to come on with me, and I knew he so badly wanted to go out in his garden. We're gone so much, and so I just told him not to worry about it. He can come in later if he wants to. I get these little tools. They're like dental picks at Dollar Tree, and they're perfect for some of these little situations. And one thing I meant to do, you're going to have a little thin piece of wire to get this jute through some of the smaller beads. And there's a little knot. Okay. Now, to start with, we've got to manage to get both of these pieces of jute through those small beads. And what I'm talking about again is at the first of the bracelet. Where's the one I was showing you? This one. At the first of the bracelet, you need some smaller beads to give you that length to go into the toggle. So, what I did to help me get those um, beads, get the thread through those beads, is I have a piece of wire and I used it kind of like a needle threader, just running the wire through the bead and then pulling the thread through that way. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes it just won't do. But that's the whole with these junk bracelets. You just, it's kind of hit or miss. That's why it's kind of hard to do a tutorial of these because you don't know if it's going to fit or not, or so on and so forth like that. Okay, I've got two beads here, and I am hoping these will fit. Should have tried that before. Ken and I laid down and actually took a nap. When we came home, uh, we adore our little grandson, but he is very busy. And he's into every sport, and he'll go from hockey to baseball to tennis, and just right along. Okay, I am going to have to search for another bead. I thought I had those out. Hi, Sandra. How are you? It's good to see you. I am looking for a certain bead. And you're going to have to be patient with me because, as I said, these junk bracelets, it's kind of hit or miss, and you have to you try something, and if it doesn't work, you try something else. Or sometimes I'll try something and I don't like how it looks, and I'll pull it out and start over. I have tubs and tubs and tubs of jewelry findings and things, but I should have gotten that out before Okay. And I could almost probably guarantee that these two won't fit through there without my wire. So I'm just going on and run my wire. And it may not go through this particular bead. Let's see, I got to get my wire like a seam, like a needle threader, seam ripper. I'm about crazy. Okay, and now we're going to take these two threads and run them through the wire like a needle threader, just like that, and hope that it goes through the bead. It doesn't look like it's going to. Oh, I'm going to try a different bead. That's what I was talking about. Sometimes they just don't cooperate. Let's see what else we can use. But the hole's got to be large enough that the double strand will go through. Some of the strands on the bracelet will go through one bead and come around it. Let's see, where's the one with the crosses? Like on this one, the double threads would not go through the crosses, so I had to go behind and just run one thread through the crosses. Most of them, the beads that I use, let me grab some more larger whole beads. Okay. Okay, here we go. These will work, and I don't think I'll even need the threader for these. But the main thing you want is just something that's not great big old huge beads so that you can have the tapered end at your toggle. Okay, we're going to go both threads through this one. I have, I am a piano organist, and I've had carpal tunnel, and I went to the doctor, but I didn't have the surgery. I did everything. I did injections and I did braces and all that, but I didn't have the surgery. And yeah, that was it. Let me get one more on there. See, I've got to be sure get that straight. And eventually, you start kind of losing use of your hands, and that's kind of where I am. You'll see me using my ring fingers to do things that most people would use their pointer finger. And sometimes the fingering when I'm playing the instrument is really interesting. Okay, there we go. So see, we've got that right there, and that gives us that narrow thing at the where the toggle is. Okay, now we're ready to go. Now I learned, uh, I guess you'd say the hard way. Um, a lot of these kind of bracelets, you make knots in between. And they look cute, and I've done those, and I may even have some knots in this one. I think I started out anyway. I kind of realized on the second one that the bracelet looks better and wears better when you don't tie a bunch of knots. So here we are. We're getting ready to get started. Now, I have all kinds of beads in the world out here, and I'm going to put that piece of bone on that one junk bracelet that I wear all the time, whatever I did with it. This one, I think it'll be pretty on that bracelet. But that one's my favorite, actually, if the truth is known. Okay. It's hot in here. I wish that Ken had turned. I bet he's got the back door open while the air's turned down. Okay, it was cold here yesterday. We sat outside, and I actually had to have a little jacket on, and I'm never cold. All right, I'm just going to dump some things out here so we can look at what we got. And I've actually got some more over here I've dumped out. Okay, and the thing on these is that you don't want. Hold on, I'm going to turn the air down. I am burning up. I'm sorry, that's not very professional when you're making a tutorial to get up in the middle and turn the air conditioner on. But shoot, it's hot. And I think it just feels hot after yesterday. It was literally too cold to do any of the Memorial Day things that people normally do here. Okay, now let's start. You want the just total. You want it to be cohesive and look like it goes together, but at the same time, you don't want it to. Does that make sense? You want it. I've actually made it before where the stuff was so not related to each other that it didn't look right. But you want it to look like it's random, but you still want a little bit of cohesiveness, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Okay, let's start with, and on some of these, we're going to have to do I love these little polymer square beads. I used a lot of them in the other ones, and I'm thinking I had to use the wire. Let me see. But your challenge is going to be finding beads that have big enough holes to incorporate your stuff. But I'm going to show you what you do when both of them won't go through. But let me get it started first. I just love the look of these little square beads. And if I don't acknowledge you in chat, I can't look all the time. I try to look at it. There we go. You just thread it on there. You don't want it really extremely tight, but I kind of tighten it as I go. All right, we've got this. Okay, I've got these I need to get out of there and let you actually see what I'm doing, don't I? Okay. Okay, let's see what we might want to put on there next. Maybe a metallic bead of some sort. Let's see. I like that. Let's put that on there. Now, on the first one of these kind that I did, I used the same spacers all the way through and made it kind of, you don't have to do that. You can just use whatever you have. Okay, we're there. And now let's go for a beautiful ceramic or glass bead. Let's see. I like that. And we won't be selling tonight. If you didn't hear me say on the other video, I started and had to start over. Uh, Ken has to prepare a sermon for Sunday, and his time to do that is sort of short, and he just doesn't have time to fool with invoicing because most of you know we're not available during the day because of our grandson. And we actually were exhausted when we came home. And there we go. See, I'm running that little folded wire through that hole and then just throwing the thread through that loop to pull it through. It's really not rocket science, and I'm sure that I'm sounding like it's harder than it is. And you just pull that through there. I always use too much thread or cord or whatever I'm doing because I don't like running out. I hate running out, actually. I have some more of those. Let me grab them real quick. I saw them when I went over here. The only way you can really tell what stuff you need when you're before you actually do it is to make the bracelet. And I apologize if I appear not to be very organized. Of course, no one's really ever accused me of being organized my entire life. All right, let's see what else we want to use. Maybe another metal bead. These are nice because you can just slide it on there. Now, let's see what else we might want to put on there. This mess is getting on my nerves right here. My way. Okay. I have a whole bunch of these hand painted beads, but I don't want to put them on like at the same time. Let's see what else I have. Like how that looks. Oh, here's a pretty glass. It's the same color though. I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see what's in this bag. There's a piece of turquoise. That might be interesting. Yeah, I like that. If I can get those threads in there. And if not, I think I'll use that as an opportunity to show you what to do if you can't. Uh, and even sometimes you can't get the whole wire head in. You have to put it in one end at a time, which is not a big deal. I still, I started doing these when I think it was a Sunday afternoon. I've got something wrong with one of my fingers on my right hand, and I think I did it from using the wire cutters and using the pliers to do all those jump rings on that one kind of junk bracelet hurts. And that I wanted to make a bracelet, so I thought I'll just use this. And I was really pleased with how it turned out. There. Okay, now we're going to run our threads through if they'll go. Okay, here we go. Let's hope they go. So I think it would be prettier if it would be on the double. But it doesn't look like it's going to go through. No. Because actually it's trying to pull through 4 lengths of that hemp. So I'm going to show you what you do when you can't get it through with both strands. You're just going to put one thread through and bring it around and knot it. Okay? Now, so when you do that, you really need a knot right here. And sometimes, if it's not exactly right, I think I'm going to try it without that knot because it can really be a problem. So I'm going to put just one strand through. I think it would have been prettier with 2 actually on the turquoise, but gonna have to use the wire just to get one strand through. But this jute is just like $1 at Dollar General. So you could, and if you have a bunch of those Pandora type beads, they really work well. I've got a whole tub of those, but some of them are marked sterling. They're usually not, unless they're actually from a reputable company. But I need to test them before I, you know, do that. All right, I'm gonna get one strand of thread, put it in the wire, and pull. Surely that's gonna go through. Come on, thread. Hold on. I think the wire's got it. So it's just not going in there. You could take a bead reamer. Um, Hold on. I think it would go through the other hole. You all, during the tutorial, feel free to put your channel, share your channel, or anything you want to share that you got coming up. That is just not going through. I got a whole bag of turquoise. Let me try a different piece. This one, I don't know if it's real turquoise or not. It might be, but kind of looks like reconstituted, but I'm going to use it. The hole's bigger in it. Our all of our internet, cell phones, everything have been difficult lately, and I don't know why exactly, but I'm gonna try both threads through there just to see if they'll go, because I think it would be prettier. I like that pop of turquoise on here. Nah, it's not. Nope. I'll have to do the single thing. Let me just pull a thread out. Okay. All right. Come on, thread. There we go. I got one single thread through. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just put that single one on there. Then we'll carry the other thread behind there and make a knot right here. And you do have to make a knot on this kind. And I'll use my little trusty thing. Okay, let's see how tight we want that to be. We don't want it real tight because it distorts the bracelet. Kind of doesn't make it hang right. Just a regular old knot. There we go. I might have gotten that a little bit tight. Let me pull it looser. There we go. I like a little bit of looseness and movement. Now, let's see. Let's put another silver spacer in. You want to? Hey, Sky. Hey, Nicole. Let's throw a spacer in. I tend to like having at least the uniformity of these similar metal spacers in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, kind of adds a design element to do the knot thing occasionally. I've seen some bracelets where just about everyone's knotted like that. Okay, let's put, I bet it, that's not going to go through there, I'm almost certain. Let's try, I want something, pull that red color out. Wish that the holes were bigger on that coral. Let's see. I like that look. Let's see if it'll go through. I have bags and bags and bags of beads. I probably should have dumped some more out here. But like I said, I've been trying to get organized. I'm going to have to use my wire. I'm using this wire just like a needle threader. And with this hemp cord from Dollar General, on a lot of your beads, you just have to do that because, and even sometimes your wire, you have to thread it through one end at a time because it just won't. And I know this is a little monotonous, the trial and error, but that's basically what you have to do on these is trial and error. They're junk bracelets. You're just using stuff out of your craft lot or and whatever. And I thoroughly, thoroughly like the look of it. I mean, that's just, we all have our own style. I got that in right. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. There we go. And on this one, I think I'm going to put my charms on last. Move it up this way, closer, in other words. There we go. Is that better? Oh, towards my face. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's put another spacer bead in there. There we go. Is the direction we're going. Now, what do you think of the yellow? Yay or nay? I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the yellow as much. Not that yellow, I don't think. Nah, I don't want that one in there. Let's see. No, some animal print. No, that just doesn't look right. What about just a metal bead? Well, it wouldn't. Uh, kind of like that. Let's put a metal. Or what about this metal bead? That's pretty. In there again. I don't even know if I can get a. Yeah, I got a single one through there. Let's see if I can get the other one. We've already started eating out of Ken's garden. I don't know where you are, if your gardens. I know Cindy's gotten a few things out of hers. We have eaten uh, scallions, which are what we call green onions, and he has a lettuce that he grows called, what is it called? Sweet Simpson or something, like Black Simpson. Something, it has Simpson in it. It's a real light butter crunch type lettuce with it's not that sharp pointy kind that I don't like. Um, we've been eating some of that, had it on hamburgers, and he has had a lot of radishes, and I think that's about it so far. Hi, Michelle Bates and Janet. I am doing junk bracelets, and the whole thing about these, it's not something you can just lay stuff out and say, this is what we're going to do, because you really don't know. Especially the ones I'm doing right now are done on a hemp cord, and the cord came from Dollar General for $1, and you don't really know what beads are going to accommodate that. And I like to have a uniform spacer bead. I don't always. My phone is ringing and no one knows I'm live. I better go answer it. Hold on. Hello? Hello? I I am live on internet right now. Can I call you back? We're not doing our sale. I'm just making a bracelet. So I'll call you back. Love you. It's Parker telling me a big spiel of something. My son-in-law, he teaches at middle school, and they have graduation tonight. Uh, I hear Ken coming. I don't know if he'll check in or not. Are you gonna say hello, honey? Okay. I kind of like this uh, crystal bead right there. I don't know whether we need another. Yeah, I guess we do. Uh, Walker can call people now. He has for a long time. He goes by the picture she's got by the number. And he knows if he pushes the alligator, he gets Grandmother. If he pushes the truck, he gets his Uncle Kenny. And he calls us a lot, but he also sometimes calls Melissa's boss and different people when he gets the wrong number. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Hold on.
Hi, everybody.
There. Oh goodness, I've had to start over. The computer just shut down,
Well,
and
I'm trying to set out a pepper plant. This is an Anaheim pepper.
well, are they hot?
Well, they're mild. They're not a sweet pepper, but they have a mild nutty taste.
Well, should fit in around here then if it's nutty.
Oh yeah.
Park called me. If you want to call him back,
Well, I don't
he
really have
was
time right
telling me
now.
some big something.
I was gonna get dark on me.
Okay, love you.
Love you guys. Bye. See everyone later.
Harper's birthday is coming up. I have got to try to figure out what to get her. I don't see her that much, so it's hard to know what she's into. There for a while she was into skunks, and you just don't ever know what they're going to be into. Okay, let's see if we can get this one to go through there. The school where we live is already out. He teaches in Virginia, and no, that's not going to go through. They're not out yet. And I have to pull one of those pieces of cord out and do the same knot thing I did a minute ago. Uh, they're later getting out, but all the Tennessee county schools and city schools too are out already. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got that on a single thread, so I have to do that same thing. Is I got to tie a knot on the other side right here and just run the thread on the back side of it. It actually kind of adds to it. I don't like it when every single bead is done that way. The tricky part about this, if you get it too tight, uh, it misshapes your bracelet. If you get it too loose, it's just sloppy looking. So it's kind of, I think that's about right. There we go. We're getting there. Well, when we moved the last time, somebody clued me in on the liquor store boxes. They are such nice boxes. And we were going by when we went to church. There's a liquor store on the way. And in case you didn't know, we do, at the time, we're doing church music and we're back doing it. We thought we had retired. But we were working at a church, and we stopped at the liquor store and just loaded up. We had an Explorer then, and loaded the back seat, the back, everything up with boxes. Well, we had parked right in front of the church and didn't really think about it that everybody coming in was seeing all our liquor boxes. And it was funny. But they are the strongest boxes because they have to be. to, those heavy bottles. Okay, this piece I had, and I have actually looked at this piece and wondered, I don't know, if I had added a bunch of chunky things on there already, that might be better for one of the ones on chains like this one. That would be better on something like that. I think I'll hold off on that. Let's see what else we have to choose from. I think I want to do another little of the clay beads. We'll see what that one, or that one, or that one. Let me see what else I have. Check out my options. That one pulls that red from over there. I like it. I don't know if I want to. I think I'll put it first and then I'll do one of those. Okay. And I think that one will hold the double thread, and I'll just run a wire through. Let me come up for a minute and show you this way. This is what I was talking about when you're using any kind of cord, is it's hard to get beads that have a big enough hole. And I found that out the hard way doing tutorials for like a company that had sent me the stuff, and their cord was too thick for any of the beads I had ordered, and I was in a real conundrum. Anyway, there's ways around that. Sometimes you can, on some threads, you can just dip them in glue or nail polish, and they'll make a needle-like thing. But this hemp and jute and stuff like that, it just won't. Okay, now I got that knot a little too loose. And I think I need a spacer right there, don't I? So I'm going to take this off. Hold on. Let me bring you down so you can see what I'm doing again. I've taught craft classes before, back in the dark ages, but doing a tutorial online is a little bit harder, trying to be sure you're staying in focus and stuff. I taught different kind of classes. When I taught some classes on corn shuck dolls, I don't know if any of y'all would be interested in learning how to make a corn shuck doll. Is that something anybody would be interested in? It's very Appalachian kind of thing. They sell them at, or they used to sell them at the Highlands Festival. There's very few people that make them anymore, and I hadn't made them in ages. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to run that thread through. So Gabriel's already out of school, right? There we go. The knots kind of can be a little bit of an issue, but I just don't, they're junk bracelets. I don't worry too much about it. But it really does help if you have one kind of spacer bead through the whole thing. Uh, these right here work really well because they have such a wide opening. I just kind of use what I have, though. I don't really take it too seriously, honestly. I don't like that. Where's the little one that had the. Here it is. No, I don't like that one. What about green? I kind of like that green because I've got two different kinds of green. Let's see. I like that one. Yep, that'll do it. These are I don't think they're homemade. I think they're actually commercial beads, but let's see who that is. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm a mom, and moms don't let messages go unanswered in case it's something. My grandson's playing outside in his Ninja Turtle costume. He has all kinds of costumes. He loves superheroes. He's got Spider Man and all of them, Batman. And someone must have given them the Ninja Turtle when it appears to be a little older. And he plays in it and has a good time. He had it on earlier today. And if you think, you know, it was very hot to have on a Ninja Turtle costume. There we go. I like the way those little square beads. Hi, Elizabeth. June the 18th, 19th. They have to go late, don't they? Well, I know they didn't miss a lot for snow. Now, I wear an 8-inch bracelet normally. Another thing I want to tell you about any of these kind of bracelets, especially these kind that have the chain and all those big, huge uh, charms and things, is even though they may measure 8 inches, they don't necessarily, because they have such big pieces, um, you need to try it on, basically, whoever's going to be wearing it. And we're getting there. Let me get my ruler and see. I usually stop about 8.5 inches and try it on. And get my if y'all just knew what a mecca of disorderly mess this room is, and I've worked and worked for days trying to get it right. Yeah, I can't find my ruler. I've got one on the table right here. Let me just do that. Oh, I'm just at 6 inches. Uh, those of you just coming in, what I'm using is hemp cord from Dollar General, and it's $1. You get white, tan, and the brown's what I'm using, and then there's black, and it is softer than jute and a little stiffer than uh, the cords I've used in some of my tutorials for that company. Whatever their cords were, they're actually stiffer than those. But the hemp is more, I don't know, it's more fun to work with. It's softer to wear and very cheap. That's kind of what I was going through. I was hunting it, just, I wanted to do a video on something kind of cheap people could just do. And I will say, I've collected up a whole lot of beads that have a hole like that, like for Pandora. I've got a whole little tub of them, and they work so well for these bracelets. They're fun because you don't really have to worry about it too much. The holes are big, and this is a glass barrel bead. Just going to run that one on there. But this is one of those projects, almost memory wire bracelets, I think are the same way. And some of these gaps where I didn't get my knot tight enough, I'll put a charm right there. So it's not really an issue. But that's where we are right now. Let me get another spacer bead. When you just want something fun to do and you really don't, you don't want to fool with jump rings and all of that. You're just in a mood to just sit and do something colorful, like you're coloring in a coloring book or something. That's what this is. And very relaxing and enjoyable. Here's the one, like what I'm going to do today. I put the charms on after the fact, and they dangle. On some of those, there's 2 jump rings, and they dangle a lot. Some of them just had 1 jump ring. I don't think all my other ones I have put at least one animal print bead, but I just don't think that one really goes. I think I'm going to put one of these on there. Let's see if I want to do the copper or the silver. Which one? I'll bring you down to see a little better. Hold on. There. Now, which one of these should I put on here? This one? Got the legs on the tripod uneven. I don't think I like the copper with that. I love copper, but I don't like the copper color with that. So maybe this one? You think that would be? You want to add some different textures and things. A lot of it depends on the mood I'm in and the beads that I've pulled. Uh, if you buy lots at anywhere, basically craft lots of any sort, a lot of times you get those kind of beads on stuff, and they do work really well for this. And a lot of what I have gotten like over the years when I'd buy craft lots from Shop Goodwill, there'd be stuff in there that, and I would just put it back because I knew I wanted to make jewelry, and I did in my spare time, but I'm kind of getting more to where that's what I'm wanting to do now. I kind of lost interest in buying and selling jewelry. Okay, it's so overcrowded now, and I don't know, everybody going on top of everybody. It just kind of it's more fun to me just to make jewelry. Let's see. There's where we are. Now, let's see what else we need to put on there. Something pretty. Let's see. That beats too little. Let's see. This is an interesting bead. It's a lampworks bead. It's got a little texture, and it adds kind of a neutral to it, doesn't it? I think I'm going to use that one, and I think I want to run that one next to it. No, that's too much neutral together, isn't it? Let me stop and think that one through a little bit. Okay, Elizabeth. It's another silver bead. I don't know. No, let's see. Now these are the type beads. I have more of these. I want to put them on this one. I couldn't find them when I made it. I want to come in between all the charms and add those undyed highlight beads to this bracelet. These are all for me. These are not for sale or anything. They're just mine. Let's see. Let's see. We need a lighter, something lighter. Maybe in the. Hmm, no, not like that. No. Now, that little glass bead is interesting. Still don't like it. Well, just a white bead. Nah, don't like it either. What I would really love to put on there is this red coral piece. Let me see if I can get one side of the thread in there. Hold on. I think that would make it pop, and I love coral. It's one of my favorites. I wonder if Elizabeth was going to Dollar General right now. The thing is, if you live anywhere, well, I don't know about in bigger cities, but more rural areas, you've got Dollar Generals on every corner. We have one just down the street that's a grocery Dollar General. Yay, I got that through one of the threads. Okay. I don't think I could incorporate two. I might try just for see if I can. Everybody's been discussing Memorial Day and such. Uh, my husband is a veteran, and Dollar General did this thing yesterday where he got 20% off of everything he bought, which was amazing, wonderful. When you're buying groceries, especially, we have groceries at ours, and with groceries so high, that was really, a good thing. No, I can't get the second thread through. It's not going to come through. Hole's not big enough. Let me just pull that back out. We'll have to do a knot. Um, Ken is so funny though about Memorial Day. He says it's not for veterans; it's for people who passed away and gave their lives. And it would be nice, like if they did that for the families of those who, you know, Veterans Days for the veterans, Memorial Days for those who gave everything. My father uh, would not talk about the war very much uh, till he got anesthesia for surgery, and then he would start talking about it. And I've got this knot all messed up. I better pull that out before I tighten it. And then he would tell you stuff. And I used to always love just waiting for him to start talking about the war. They'd, give him his whatever, and I'd be sitting with him waiting on surgery because that was about the only time he had a few things he would say, and it was mainly just to aggravate any of us that were having babies. He would say, "Well, the women in Italy, that's what he called it, they'd be working in the field and just go over under a tree and have their baby and go right back to work." And I know he was just doing that to aggravate us. But he would tell that, and he would tell about the snakes in the trenches in North Africa that were as big as the top of his leg. He was terrified of snakes. Mom said on one of their first dates, they went to a roadside. There's one of my hairs gotten into the knot. A roadside thing where they have snakes. Around here they used to just along the mountain roads and stuff. You'd have a snake in a box, kind of thing. And she said he turned as white as a sheet, and she thought he was going to pass out and hit the ground. But the ones he was in Italy and North Africa, and he said they were so big, as big as the top of his leg. But when he was in Italy, the interesting thing I was getting ready to tell you, uh, when he came through this one town, they had hung Mussolini and his mistress. Of course, my daddy would have never said mistress to me. He said his wife. Is that? Oh, now he's Batman. We've changed out a Ninja Turtle to Batman. But he came through, and when he came through, Mussolini and his mistress were hanging upside down. They hung them straight up, then they turned them around upside down. And when Daddy came through, they were upside down. So that was probably the next day or something. But didn't talk much about it, but he did tell me that Ken's dad, uh, carried the radio, the Morse code radio, and all that on D-Day on the second wave into Normandy. And the radio guys always, they always target the radio guy. And hold on, there. Oh, really? Well, I don't know if that's how the servicemen said it or what, but that's how Daddy always said it. And so you'll hear Ken and I when we'll say 925 Italy, Ken will say Italy because that's how Daddy said it. But I was substituting in a history class one time of, let me think what grade they were. Middle school, maybe, or sixth, I think middle school. And they were studying World War II. And I always thought that was pretty cool that my dad saw Mussolini hanging, and they were studying Italy and Mussolini and all that. And I told them, and they just looked at me and they said, "Will this be on the SOLs?" I said, "Well, no." Anyway, whatever. My father-in-law, I didn't even know. He was communications radio guy. They're the ones that got picked off, but he made it onto the landing. But now my uncles, I have on my mom's side, one uncle was involved in radar on the Loma Linda, and the other uncle was out in the proving grounds developing what the Loma Linda dropped. He was a physicist type person. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm at almost 8 inches. Okay, did you all see how I did that? I'm talking and not looking. Uh, I couldn't get both threads through the piece of dyed coral, so I ran one thread through, and then I tied a knot on the other side. And so you just run that thread on the back, and the hemp cord's pretty enough that it doesn't look bad. Okay, let's get another divider right there. There we go. But it's funny, you talk about Memorial Day, those who didn't make it back. But those who did make it back lost part of their self over there. Most of them were shell shocked and PTSD, just like our later soldiers have come back from all the other wars since, you know, with all kinds of problems. So, in a sense, although they made it out with their lives, they lost a lot of who they were. Okay, let's see. And you don't want these bracelets real tight, so you're not going to. Okay, I'm going to have a whole lot more room, so I'm going to go about another inch. Uh, and another little thought, too, when you're on Shop Goodwill or any of those sort of sites where you're buying stuff, they usually do have jewelry making boxes that you can get. And a lot of this stuff I've got came out of jewelry making boxes. Um, and it's at a much reduced price from what you would pay, at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm a Hobby Lobby person. I like Hobby Lobby. They're more my speed than Michael's, to be honest. The thing about Michael's that frustrates the fire out of me is that they don't carry wire guards. And I asked somebody, and he didn't know what wire guards. Wire guards are those little horseshoe-looking things you put on the end of your necklaces. And I could not believe the guy didn't even know what they were. And I've checked two different Michaels and can't get them. And Hobby Lobby had 2 packs. That's all they had. And but Kristen has been having a show Thursdays, I think, where she sells findings some weeks and beads and things. And I got some sterling ones and regular ones from Kristen coming. So, but I don't know if I like that. I would like to have another one of those in there, but I don't know if I like that one or not. Well, y'all can't see it, can you? Well, it would be nice if the legs on my tripod were all the same length. Let's just do that. Y'all are good friends to put up with me. Okay, there we go. That's where we are, but I don't know if I like that or not. I don't think I do. Sometimes you can get too much, and I wanted to put one of these on there, the pinker one of those, and I don't know if I want it next to that or not. Hmm. I like this one better. It's not as busy. Can y'all hear my brain cells going trying to figure out what to do? Okay, let's look at these glass beads. Hmm, don't like that. Another turquoise bead. Hmm. The problem with these turquoise ones, the holes are hardly big enough for even one strand. And I just tied one, and I don't really want to tie two right close. Let me see. If I had one, oh, here's one that's got a right. I don't think this is real turquoise. Yeah, I think that's what it needs. Then I'll put the pink, and then I'll finish it. How about that? I think that this one will accommodate 2 strands. Get my old trusty wire. Yeah, this one I believe is not turquoise. But that's okay. I'm not a purist with these because they're junk bracelets. And if you're a purist on a junk bracelet, it really kind of isn't a junk bracelet anymore. Come on, come on. There we go. Got it. It went through both. Yay. Yeah, that looks pretty, Deborah. Look. Yeah. Wish I could find my ruler. It would make my life a lot easier. Sometimes Ken gets it. Let's see if I can find one. I wish the little elves would come like while I'm asleep and clean up this room. Let's see. Let me just measure on my magic marker. Yeah, I'm at 9 now, or 8.5. So I want to put this pink one on, and then I'm going to I might put another one or two of those so it's uniform. It might make it too long. I'll have to see. I like these because you don't have to fool with the wire. But I like movement on these, and uh, if they're too tight, they don't. We ran in and picked up a Little Caesars on the way home from my daughter's, and Ken didn't want to wait. And I wanted the pretzel one. That's what I didn't put a thing on. I like the pretzel ones, and he was going to have to wait. They didn't have any hot and ready, so he just got a regular old pizza, which I'm no any great fan of regular old just pizza. Tired of it or something over the years. And I was disappointed. I love those pretzel pizzas. Okay, I bet I'm getting too long now. Let's see. With that pink one. Oops, I got beads going everywhere. I still sometimes forget that we don't have a dog. Of course, we're going to have two dogs. Yeah, I'm good. We're going to have my daughter's dogs for a week while they go to the beach. And we haven't had a dog for a while since Bill passed away. And of course, this is terrible, but when you're used to having a dog and you drop a potato chip or something, you don't worry too much about it because the dog will get it. And I still do that. I'll drop something and I'll think, oh, the dog will get it. And there's no dog. And oh, I may have gotten this way too long. No, it's about right. No, it's good. Okay, I got to get some of those little beads that are on the end. Let's see. I think they were these right here that I used. I was telling earlier, and some of y'all weren't probably here, we're not going to be coming on selling tonight. Ken is preaching, filling in for the pastor while he's on a little R&R, and he's not got a whole lot of time, with babysitting and everything to prepare, and he takes it real seriously. And I don't think that's the same bead. Here they are, and so it's not that coming on would take so much time. It's all the shipping and everything. He just won't have time to fool with. But we are kind of, we're not going out of business. We'll be on, but we're not going to be hauling in the big piles of stuff we've been doing. It's just, I think we're burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. For a while, we're going to have to. Oh, I wasn't supposed to put a ring on that one because there's not one on the other side. Okay. As I get toward the ends, I do try to make them a little bit uniform. Not that they're matching uniform, just kind of the same. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Well, Barbie, you're doing great. Okay. Now, yeah, that's right, like that. Okay, now, watch closely what I'm doing next. You may or may not have done it this way. You probably have. Okay, let me find my. Where's the other part of the toggle? It was a heart shape. Let's see. There it is. Okay, there's the part of my toggle that this thing's going to go into. Okay. So what I'm going to do, of course, is going to run both threads through there like that. Now I'm only going to run one because it won't be placed correctly if I do two. Now, this is kind of the day of reckoning right here. the point of no return. When you and I'm going on and put both threads through there for security. Um, Once you get to here, you don't want to have it too tight because when you tie that knot, it's permanent, sort of, and you don't want it all tight and bunched up. So, kind of be sure you got the tension like you want it at this point. Now, two. There we go. Okay, so I've got the double run through there, and I'm going to tie a knot this way. And the reason I'm doing it that way is because I don't want it to be real sideways. Well, don't know how to explain that. It's raining again. Seems like seems like we live in London sometimes. It's so rainy all the time. Now I'm going to pull that up just enough to get a little something to tie around so it's not just so tight. And a crochet hook would work better for this than what I'm using, actually. Okay. Okay, I want that knot to come down a little closer to the heart. Let's see. Now, okay, and I'm going to make one more pass around just to secure it. And you got a little bit of cord showing. And like I was telling you, I'm going to go back and add charms, so that's not really an issue. I'd rather have a little cord show than have it too tight. Because when things are too tight that are beaded, they just look homemade. And, hold on. Okay. I heard the best sermon today on Psalm 23. My cousin sent me their sermon from Sunday at Highlands Christian Fellowship, and it was the best sermon on Psalm 23. It wasn't the normal shepherd and sheep stuff. This was really good. Okay, I've got my knots tied there. Now what I'm going to do, here's where uh, the difference is. Okay, let me try this on just to be sure. It's a little big. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, that's a little too big. I think I'm going to untie and take a few beads off because that is just too big. Uh, but it was the best sermon. Really good. A very reassuring sermon. And I'm going to have trouble getting this knot out, but I don't want to finish it. And what I'm going to do, just in case you need to go or something, you cut off some of this thread, and then each one of these little threads, you'll thread some beads on and tie a little knot at the bottom. Now, let me show you one I've already made. Um, you don't want the two little ends to be the same length. You want them to be two different lengths, and thread some different kind of beads on them. I like different ones. Yes, Michelle, it's the Lord is my shepherd. Hi, Catherine. Uh, but it was a different. I've heard the ones, where they talk about how sheep, when they keep running off that they'll break their little leg or something and then carry. I've heard all that. This was just a different slant, and it had to do with stress and mental health too, and it was just very, very good. Uh, really helpful. I found it very helpful. I suggest if you have a Dollar Tree near you to get one of these. I got two for me and got Ken one. He even uses them to open walnuts and stuff, to pick out the. But they're perfect for just about everything. Okay, now I've got to take some beads off of here. I'm wondering how far back to go. The pink definitely has to go. Huh. Try this. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna have to take the turquoise and the pink. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to accommodate either one of those. I might could put that little teeny pink one on there. Let's see. See where we're at lengthwise. Yeah, I'll have to have a little bit more, but I can't have both of them. Need one of these and this. This makes it like the other side. It has a square and then two little beads. Okay, let's see. Now let's see if I can do it this way. May still be too long, but I have to have that little square at the end to make it like the other side because I have a square and two little beads on the other side. See, but I have a feeling this is still going to be too big. It might work that way. Okay, let's see. Let me get my heart again. Where did it go? Here it is. No. That might work. I'm going to have to be very careful here to get not have a whole lot of waste a lot of space right there. Okay. I've watched enough of all my friends and their artsy tartsy stuff to where it's just about it's rubbed off on me. I started watercoloring last night. I knew they'd get to me sooner or later. I'm not at all artistic. I mean, like, totally, completely void of any art talent whatsoever. My writing's even terrible. I mean, but watercolor, for some reason, was the most soothing thing besides knitting. Knitting's the most soothing thing that I've ever done. And I have to show you guys. I took a coloring book that had thicker paper, one of those adult coloring books, and I just watercolored in it. And let me show it to you. Hold on. I had more fun doing this. Hold on. This paper was good. Now, This down here, I freehanded that. In the blue up here, I added. But the rest of it is just adult coloring book. But it was so relaxing to sit with watercolor and just fill those in. I don't know even how to. Going to tell us about the sermon. It was just, I can send you the link to it on the phone, Michelle, after I get off. I've got the link. Uh, I'll be glad to send you the link. Um, but it talked about 5 things that cause you stress. That's not normally uh, the way that my hair looks terrible. I need to. Psalm 23 is usually not preached that way. Um, oh, my artwork's terrible, Elizabeth. In middle school, the art teacher held my stuff up, and the whole class laughed at it, and I just never got over that. And I always thought I wasn't artistic. I'm crafty. I can do just about any craft. From basket weaving to knitting to crochet, whatever. I used to make all my kids' clothes. I made my daughter's swimsuits, which was something that's kind of difficult to make. But anyway, I did smocking. I have a pleater. Did little dresses for my daughter. And I bet that's my son calling my husband. I'll have to. Ken's up at the garden, so I'll just have to message Kenny. Oh, he answered. Did I hear him talking? He must be in. Uh, but anyway, lose my train of thought. Okay, we are to the end of here. This is what I wanted to show you. Instead of having to worry about weaving these threads back down through the bracelet, uh, down into there, uh, you just celebrate them. You're going to thread some beads on there, and let's see what we can put on there. That's plastic, but I don't like that look. Let's see. Usually on those little dangles, I want smaller beads, like real smaller beads. Here's a little blue cat eye. Will that fit? Yeah. And I don't run them all the way up to the top of the thread. I usually let the thread show. And like I said, this hemp cord is not unattractive. Okay, let's see what else we can put on here. Maybe a little silver bead of some kind. Maybe some of the same kind of beads that are on the bracelet, these silver ones. And I don't, on these junk bracelets, I don't want my dingle dangles to be matchy matchy. I want them to be kind of random too. There. And then something else. Here's a little teeny piece of turquoise. Maybe I can work that into it. I need to order one of those bracelet cones like everybody's using so I can actually tell how it fits before I finish it. Nope, it's not going to fit in that. That's the cutest little piece of turquoise. I had a whole bag of turquoise over here, Deborah. Let's see if this one. Yeah, this has a nice big hole. I don't know if it's going to look right as a dingle dangle, but we'll see. Let me cut the end. I'm getting frayed on the end. Oh, I can tell Ken's used my scissors for something he shouldn't have. When I sewed, I used to actually tie my scissors to the sewing machine table so they wouldn't get carted off through the house and used for everything in the world, cardboard and yeah, there we go. Now we can have a real little piece of turquoise on there. I like that look. That's kind of cool. Maybe one other little bead on there. Let's see. Maybe another silver bead. What do you think? Or a different silver bead. Let's see. Nope, that one's not wanting to fit on there. Let's see. Here we go. Ah, buck. Okay. I just realized y'all can't see one thing I'm doing. Hi, Jude. I'm finishing up the stringing part of this bracelet. I'm getting ready to add the charms in a minute. I'm doing the little dingle dangles on the end that allow you not to have to worry about hiding all your ends and stuff. You just have them on one side, so there's one. And there again, like I was telling you earlier, the whole trick on these bracelets is finding holes that you can even with the wire, using it like a needle threader, get them through. Okay, now, so I've got my dingle dangle right here. Now I want to have some room at the top right there. So I'm going to leave a little space there before I tie my knots. And you don't want your two dingle dangles to be the same size. You want them to hang, uh, you know, one to be longer than the other. Okay, well that'll be the longer one because that's about as long as you would want it. And where I'll lay the scissors there. Now here's the other one. See, we just tied on to our toggle, and we're just going to leave it like that and thread beads on it and not worry about having to do anything with those ends. They're going to be little dangles, which that's one of the coolest, most fun things. I think I actually learned that on Kristen's channel. She did a bracelet one time and did the ends like that, and I just thought it was the neatest thing since sliced bread. I believe it was Kristen. I've seen a couple of people do it, but I think Kristen was the first person I saw actually do that. And I thought, oh goodness, if you do that, making a bracelet's just like pulling off a log. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just thought you the phone cut out.
Uh, okay, this one is going to be shorter than this one.
Hey,
And I
I
might
don't know
do,
what happened there. That phone just made a beeping noise.
I know what happened. We need new cordless phones, and Ken refuses to get any. So I just gave up a long time ago. They cut out when he's on them. He's about the only one that uses them. And everybody that talks to him will say that your phone's cutting out. Even our insurance company was like had to keep calling back, and he still won't accept that something's wrong with the phones. Man, Whatever men do when they're younger, when they get older, it's like 100 times worse. Okay, this one I might do just all little silver dangles and maybe something on the ends. Let's see. Here's a little glass bead. I wonder if I can get that. This is jute that I'm using, not hemp. I mean, it's hemp, not jute. Hemp, and it's $1 at Dollar General. This is what I'm using, and it's $1, and you get a whole lot of it for $1. And for doing these kind of bracelets with the knotting and all, it's perfect. And there again, any kind of cord I have used, I struggle with the holes being large enough. And I guess sometimes I could use a bead reamer and stretch it a teeny bit, but not much really. On most of my videos, I film them and I do them live, but I do them private. And then I make them public after the fact in case I goof up so I can, you know, save myself. But see what I've got over here for different things. I have this whole bag I got from I think Shop Goodwill in a stone lot of stone jewelry, and it's all they're all polished, beautifully done stones, but none of them are drilled. I'll have to wire wrap them. Okay, let's see. Okay, here is a little piece of lapis, and it doesn't match extremely well. I don't like how it looks. Even though it's a real stone, I just don't like the looks of it. I think I'm going to I think I'll do that. Do a charm on the end. Or maybe not. The hole's stopped up. Okay. I just like the look of having that one all silver. It almost needs like a little bit of blue in it. Yeah. I think we'll just leave it like that. Okay, and we have to tie knots. I don't like that. Something about that doesn't float my boat. I'm going to pull some of that silver off. I have to like it. If I don't like that. If I could get this little glass bead, accept this cord, we're in business. Okay. Let's see if it'll come into there. Nope. Nopers. It won't. I like this little silver filigree ball. I don't even think need that for that. I might. We'll see. Yep. Ugh. I like dangles too. Let me go right here and look. Hold on. Talk among yourselves a minute. And my dress is hung up on a jewelry hook. There we go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Got it. This is what it needs. These look like crystals. I'm not sure, but I have so many beads and things. Yeah, these are glass and they're pretty. There we go. I like that. So this is the longer one. That's the shorter one. And we got to get our knots. Okay. Let me cut that other one. Okay. Now, let's see how much length we got. It's still kind of long, but I like my bracelets pretty long, so I think it's going to be fine. I do have some bracelets that I can't wear when I'm playing the instrument. Well, there we go. No, I think it's good. Probably, I would probably prefer to lose about a half an inch, but and you can fray. I think I need to trim these little cords off a little bit on the dingle dangles. Now, uh, I like to come back in and put some charms in. So let me take it back off. And I want to trim those dingle dangle things. Oh, goodness. Let's try a different pair of scissors. And if you like things frayed, you could fray the ends, like that. I don't, it's okay. Doesn't really matter either way to me. Okay, now, at this point, we got to find some jump rings. Put these down here and pull out the jump rings. Let's see. I'll put them over here. There's charms. Here they are, the floor. I did a lot of straightening this weekend, and I had gone through gazillions of jump rings, sorting them into little piles of silver and gold and putting them in things. And I came in here to get something to wear. I don't know where we were going yesterday. And I was climbing over stuff trying to get to this extra closet in this bedroom and knocked all those jump rings in the floor. And I really wanted to just sit down and cry in the middle of the jump rings. But So now they're just all kind of silver and gold and everything. There's no rhyme or reason to it now. Okay, let's see what kind of charms we're going to put on here. I had one I had already picked out for this one if it's still in here. Well, I don't see it. Now, I've got to decide if I want to be random or matchy-matchy or what. That's an angel. Here's a little teapot. I think this was out of my Alice in Wonderland charms. I may put a teapot on there just because I like it. This may be one of those things where it's just charms that I like because this is for myself. So I don't have to worry about what anybody wants to buy. It's just for me. Okay, let's get a. And on these, you really need a little bit of a larger jump ring because you're going over that cord, and so it'll hang down a little bit. Uh, thought it had a loop on it. Apparently, it doesn't. I'll just use that one. Okay, let's open it a little more. And I just come in between some of the beads and add a little charm. Okay, let's see what else we can put in here. Or on here might be a. Okay, here's some musical notes. That's something I like. And that's got one jump ring on it. So what I did on the others, they already had a jump ring on the charm. I would just put another one on, and that way, some of these are those double ones, and I have the tool to open them, but I hate fooling with them, so I'm just going to get some other ones. Okay, here's a nice big jump ring. We'll open it and then slide it on there. I think I'll put this one around about right here where there's kind of a loose space. Hold on, there we go. Okay, see what else we want to put on here. You just, like I said, these are junk bracelets and you just do whatever. There's a different teapot, or is it the same one? It's the same one. Let's see. Here's a little elephant. Let's put that on there. I like elephants. I have elephants on that other one, but I still like them. Let's get a nice big jump ring. Here's one. And by doing two jump rings, they just have a little bit more movement in them. See? I think I'll run that one right here beside the turquoise. we're getting there. Let's see. Don't really want an angel. What about a teacup? That'd be cute. A little teacup would be cute, wouldn't it? Since I got a teapot. Put this one on this side close to the teapot. Ugh! The jump ring's getting stuck in my thing. Okay, I don't know what an elephant has to do with teapots, but I like it, so who cares? Here's a little cat and a hummingbird. Okay, I need a big jump ring. There's one. And I have lots of sterling stuff to start making some sterling jewelry. And, it's going to be a learning curve probably. I don't really like working with sterling. Anything I've ever made with sterling is so soft that it's not my favorite thing to work with. But I think I'm going to have some sterling and copper pieces. It'll be pretty. Okay, got a little hummingbird. I need a really big one for him because he's small. I haven't looked at the chat in a long time. Oh, really? Good, Jude. That was one of the favorite pieces that I made. I liked that. It wasn't sterling, but I just liked it. I thought it turned out really cute. Okay, let's put this little hummingbird right here. I try to get my charms all going the same way, but I really don't sweat it too much. When you're wearing it, they go every which way. Oh, here's a treble clasp. I need to put that on there. Yeah, little treble clasp. That's cute. Actually, those keyring type jump rings, I forgot what you call them, are more secure for charms, but they are such a pain. Even with the tool to open them, they're just a pain in the neck. And I just slide those in right over the cord and close the jump ring. Little kitty cat's not wanting to go the right direction. Okay, let's see what else. Oops, camera, sorry. Sorry, guys. Knock you over like that. This is probably the most unprofessional tutorial you've ever watched. And I'm apologizing in advance for anyone else who's watching it. I don't know what that is. Oh, here's a tree of life. That'd be cute to put on there, and a dolphin and dragonfly. Well, this one can't put on because it's got that other kind of hook. Here's a dragonfly. I think I want to put that on. That's a cute little dragonfly. Okay, let's see. What tree of the tree of life we said we couldn't use. I don't really want a dolphin. There's another little cat. I think I'll put him on there too. He's cute. I must have grabbed into the part that had all the uh, other kind of jump rings that I don't really like to work with. We're getting there. We're getting there. See? And like I said, it's a junk bracelet. I can put whatever I want to on there. It doesn't have to be. I do like seahorses. There's a seahorse. I'll put him on there. Let's see what else is in this pocket. There's a little key. Oh, here's a tree of life that doesn't have a thing on it that I can use. Okay, yay. Oh, I hate when those little jump rings jump on your pliers. That irritates me to death. And I had to dump them all out here to try to find the size I wanted. Thanks to the jump ring incident yesterday. There's one. Okay, while I'm finishing this up, go on and put a number between 1 and 20. And I've got a bunch of those too, Deborah. I use them sometimes, not a great lot. Put a number between 1 and 20. And I'll do a random number picker. And we'll have a little prize for y'all being with me. I appreciate it. But you see that, look, I'm going for just some dangly stuff to give it uh, some fun. I see a few places. There's one we need one. Well, thank you, Deborah. I was afraid I bored everybody to death. And, having to start over always kind of messes you up a little bit. Uh, you can't help it, it just does. There's an Eiffel Tower. I love Eiffel Towers. Absolutely adore Eiffel Towers. Okay, let's see where that empty spot was. One thing I won't be doing next time I do a tutorial is getting all these jump rings out to jump on my pliers. Let's see. Okay, I didn't get it closed up. Something was right here that fell off. Let's see what this was. Put that right there. Here we go. I'll try to be a little more organized next time, guys. With a jump bracelet, it's just kind of hard to be organized. Not that I probably would be if I could. I'm just not an organized person. And you are who you are. You might as well just own it and not organized. Okay. I think that's pretty well got it. Uh, Go on and put a number in between 1 and 20. If you're in the chat, throw a number in. And there we go. There we go. And there is still that hair of mine that was in one of those beads. Hi, Carolyn. And I probably would have done that a tad shorter if I had it to do over, but I like it. And well, thank you, Carolyn. This is probably the direction that we will be going most of the time now. We'll be doing some sales, and we got a lot of sterling still left to sell. And I have a tub of nice jewelry. But I cleared out a lot of we won't be doing large lots or for a while anyway. We've been what's the word? Burning it at both ends would be the best way I know to put it. And it started to affect my health a little bit. Okay, let me do the random number picker. I can't talk to mine. I'll just have to show it to you. If you're here listening, throw a number in the chat. Okay, and I want to do the top one to 20. Okay, see, I've got 1 to 20 right there, and I'm getting ready to push generate. And it generated 12. Okay, 8 is 4 away, 19 is 7 away. So I'm saying, Deborah, you got a prize coming. And it will just be a little something, and I'll send it. I didn't even pick it out ahead of time, but you win a prize for being here today, and I thank you, and thank you, Carolyn. Dollar General has a lot of neat stuff, Carolyn. Uh, Besides that, um, I get these blank white note cards and envelopes. I think you get 5 or 6 for $1. They're perfect for doing artwork. They have these little bags like this if you need them. They have like 100 for, I can't remember if they're $1. You get a whole bunch. Uh, that's in their just regular craft department. And our Dollar General has another aisle now with all kinds of paper art things, pens and things like that. And there's trying to think what else I hadn't gotten there. This came from Dollar Tree. This was probably the best investment I've ever made. And I went back and got more. And they're like dental picks, but they work so well for everything. I had to hide them from Ken, so I ended up just buying him his own. And so anyway, next time I'll probably be back on. This is what I love doing. This, and I may even be watercoloring. I was showing earlier, Carolyn, I watercolored a coloring page, and I enjoyed it so much. Uh, it just really relaxed me, and I don't know if you can tell from all the time y'all have been around me that one of my challenges and faults and problems is that I need to work on trusting God more and being anxious and worried less. That's what I need to do. And I've got to remember to send that sermon to Michelle. She wanted the link to that sermon. My cousin sent me her pastor's sermon on Psalm 23, and it was so good. So Ken and I listened to it on the way home and while we ate lunch. Well, guys, I'm going to go and hope you all have a nice evening. I'll probably be back on soon. And yes, I think we all could, but I'm probably one of the worst, Carolyn. And uh, I have no trouble believing for other people and praying for other people, but it seems like my own things, I don't trust enough. And the Bible says in Psalm 23 that the Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. We don't have any need to want or worry, or He'll take care of it. And I need to start pounding that in up there. I've asked God to help me with it, and that is my goal. To I'd like to learn to live totally without worry, and to be able to truly say, that I trust God for on everything. And the Bible says in Psalm 138 that He will perfect the things that concern me. It's the last verse in Psalm 138, I think. And that involves everything, your family, everything. Well, goodbye, everyone. And I will catch up with you guys a little later. Thanks for being here. And I'll try to get your prize out, Deborah.